Ever been at a massive party but low-key felt like you were completely invisible? Like everyone around you is laughing, having the time of their lives, but your brain is just stuck in its own era of pure isolation? Yeah, turns out you're not glitching, and you're definitely not the only one cooked by this feeling. Psychology actually explains why your brain pulls this absolute villain arc on you. See, being lonely isn't about physical distance. It's entirely about a total lack of emotional connection. When you're forcing yourself to mask up and fit in with a crowd that doesn't actually get you, your brain feels the fake vibe immediately. It high-key realizes that you are trading your true self just to collect some empty, surface-level social points. So what happens next is your brain goes into full-blown survival mode. You become hyper-aware of every single word you say, every breath you take, and how loudly you're existing. You start overthinking the vibe check, convinced that everyone is judging you, which completely shuts down your ability to actually connect. We live in an era where we are constantly surrounded by digital noise and surface-level interactions. You can have 1,000 followers or stand in a room packed with people, but still feel like you're stranded on Mars. Because if the interaction doesn't hit a deeper level, it literally leaves your social battery completely drained and empty. It's like the ultimate paradox. The more options for connection you have, the harder it actually feels to choose one. When a room is too loud, your brain literally decides to just tune out the entire frequency to protect itself. So you retreat inward, creating a psychological wall while physically standing right next to people. And let's be real, showing your true self to a room full of strangers feels high-key dangerous. The fear of rejection, or not being perceived the right way, makes you keep the guard up at all costs. But that exact shield is what keeps the loneliness locked inside, running rent-free in your mind. We also live in the peak era of main character syndrome, where everyone feels like they have to perform. When everyone in the room is trying to be the main character, nobody is actually listening to the background characters. You feel lonely because you realize it's a room full of monologues, not an actual dialogue. To fix this, we have to look at how our brains were literally wired back in the caveman days. Back then, being cast out from the tribe meant you were straight up cooked by nature. Your brain treats social isolation exactly like a physical threat, sending panic signals through your whole system. So when you're in a room where the frequency is just off, your brain triggers that exact same ancient survival panic. It's called a frequency mismatch. You are physically present, but mentally, you've completely desynced from the environment. You can't force a connection with people who are playing a completely different game than you are, no cap. And trying to force it is exactly what drains your social battery, down to absolute zero. Nodding along to conversations you don't care about takes 10 times more energy than actually being alone. That's why you leave a crowded room feeling completely exhausted, isolated, and low-key defeated. A huge reason we spiral in these moments is a psychological glitch called the spotlight effect. You high-key think everyone is hyper-focusing on your awkwardness, but in reality, they are completely trapped in their own heads. Realizing that literally nobody is paying that close attention to you is low-key the ultimate cheat code to freedom. Our generation has been conditioned to think that more social circles equals a better life. But the math just doesn't add up. One real, genuine connection beats a room full of 50 fake ones every single time. If you can't talk about real stuff without the vibe turning weird, that circle is cooked and it's time to move on. So, how do we actually break out of this simulation and stop feeling so isolated? Step 1 is breaking the generic script by saying something shockingly real or slightly unhinged. The second you drop the fake polite act and say how you actually feel, you give the other person permission to do the exact same thing. Stop trying to vibe with the entire room and start scanning the crowd for your actual micro-tribe. Look for the person who is also standing by the snack table looking low-key overwhelmed or scrolling on their phone. That one person is usually waiting for someone exactly like you to come over and clutch the conversation. And look, if the vibe check fails completely and nobody is matching your energy, normalize just leaving. Staying in a place that makes you feel lonely just to look polite is a straight-up scam you are pulling on your own mental health. Ghosting a dead party to go home, lock into your comfort show, and eat snacks is a massive win, no cap. We need to stop treating being alone like it's a punishment or a sign that you're failing socially. Solitude is literally just peace. Without the performance, it's where you get to recharge your real self. It is infinitely better to be physically alone than to be surrounded by people who make you feel completely invisible. At the end of the day, feeling lonely in a crowded room is just your brain's internal compass telling you that you're in the wrong place. It's a reminder to stop spending your valuable energy trying to be perceived by people who don't even matter to your story. Protect your peace, guard your social battery, and stop letting the crowd dictate your worth. When you finally let go of the need to fit into every single room you walk into, the loneliness low-key just evaporates. Because you realize that the right people will find you when you are actually being yourself, no cap. So, throw away the social mask. It's taking up way too much space in your head rent-free anyway. If this video just saved your social battery, or high-key made you feel seen, drop a subscribe right now. Leave a comment letting me know if you've ever felt this exact way in a crowded room, or if you're already an expert at the exit strategy. Catch you in the next one. Stay real, stay safe, and go recharge.